And I'm going to say bonjour, Monsieur Delacour. That's the only French that I know. Merci pour parler avec.
Wow, this is very impressive. You know, this is the first time. You know, congratulations, frankly. It was perfect French. I need to work to be able to respond in Hindi. You know, it's going to take a while.
Right. I just want to start by asking you, Thierry, the numbers, as far as the numbers are concerned, they are in line. People expected a sequential decline because the full impact of COVID was seen this quarter. Margins were a surprise. But what people are more keen on is what your strategy is going to be for Wipro. You have given hints yesterday and today at the AGM at the press conference. You said the focus is going to be profitability. You're going to be obsessed with growth. That you are going to come up with a plan. So what can we expect in the next 1 or 2 weeks from you?
Okay. So realize, Chandra, that I'm 7 days into the role. That would not be very possible or serious to come with a strategy so early. I need to spend time with the team and work on the situation where we stand and really look at the different aspects before structuring a real strategy. But it will happen. It will happen soon. Couple of comments. One, since just arrived 7 days ago, we are communicating Q1 results. Very proud of the team. Very proud of what the team has achieved in a difficult time, which was, the situation over the last 3 months, with an obsessive focus on the safety and the health of our employees, but also on connecting and making sure that we were supporting our clients and not letting them down 1 single second. I think from that standpoint, the achievement in the first quarter is really remarkable. Looking forward now, while I will work with the team on, doing the right assessment, better understanding the business, and starting to work on the priorities. One point is clear: growth, absolute obsession for growth. I have the passion for growth. I like being with clients. I like working on deals, and we will mobilize the whole team around this theme of growth. We will also work on all the different ways to drive efficiency and productivity in the organization, simplify processes when possible, and allow people to spend less time internally, more time with the clients, more time in the market every day. And finally, I would say, it's not a strategy, but it will lead to a strategy, is my commitment is to challenge the status quo. Just because, I'm coming with, fresh pair of eyes, the opportunity to really look at things and, question whether there's a better way to do it. And I will do it with the entire team. I will work with, the team that you see here and the rest of the executive committee.
It's 5 o'clock.
And there will be a point in time we will come back to you with, a more detailed view on the strategy, of course.
Right. Just a quick follow-up question there. I understand it's just been 7 days. It's too early to talk about strategy. But I'm sure you have observed Wipro as a rival, as a peer for many years now. They've ticked all the boxes. They are present in digital. They're present in every geography that matters. They've been very aggressive on acquisitions. So if you have to diagnose the challenge, what would it be? Is it on the execution side? What is missing according to you?
You're right. I have, engaged with Wipro. I have seen Wipro in the market for the last 20 years, and in many, many occasions, competing, sometimes winning, sometimes losing. Once I've learned to really, really appreciate the quality of the people I've met, their values, their sense of purpose, but also their expertise, their deep knowledge in technology, their passion for the delivering services to our clients. What is missing again, Chandra, it's slightly too early to jump on conclusions. That's not my style. I think, I would look at, what are the ways to drive, more growth. And it's, spending more time with our customers, even in the context of COVID, connect more with our customers.
Jatin, I want to take it to you. The margins came as a positive surprise this quarter. Nearly every company was expected to post a decline in margins in line with what's happening on the growth front. So tell us about these levers. Will they continue to help you in the coming quarter as well? You spoke about taking up utilization, cutting cost, and forex helping you. But which of these can continue to help you in the coming quarter till growth bounces back to pre-COVID levels?
Sure, Chandra. So, let me start by saying that, this was one Wipro execution on cost management in quarter one. Every stream of teams and people came together to really put their heads together and determine what was right for organization, whether a spend is really making sense, whether we should continue with the variable workforce executive when we have our own employees who can do this task, whether there is an opportunity to leverage a furlough scheme in a particular country. Our HR teams really looked at every angle of their employee costs, our employee costs, and did a fabulous all across execution. On incremental spend, we asked ourselves, do we need to spend, an X dollar in the new environment? We have asked ourselves questions as to whether this particular spend, which was very relevant pre-COVID, does it make sense any longer? So I think we have developed certain discipline. We have executed on a goal quite well, and I am, as a CFO, fully cognizant of the fact that some of those spends, like travel, will start ticking up again as activity picks up. But we will have levers to look at, spends that we have not looked at so far. We will have levers in form of additional revenue that will be helpful. Some of the spend actions that we could take only in the third month in quarter one will have full impact in quarter two. So our overall thesis as we enter quarter two is that we want to keep our margins in a narrow band. Of course, subject to our priority being growth. If we have to make investments that would help us in later quarters or future years, we would not hesitate to make those investments because as Thierry mentioned in his opening remark, that growth is really what we would want to go after as a priority.
Right. Bhanu, you've been working with Saurabh on taking more than 90% of your employees remote. I think in the initial days, 95% of Wipro's employees were working from home, which is an incredible feat. So, do you have a percentage or a ratio in mind? Some companies, for example, are saying 2/3. Some companies are saying 1/3. What is your ideal ratio going to be? And secondly, ISG recently came out with a report where they said global sourcing is down. The financial services particularly is under strain. So what can you tell us about that in terms of the sourcing that you were seeing across various verticals?
Yeah, so Chandra, so let me answer the first question. As you mentioned, I think we've executed extremely well, keeping in mind two things. One, we wanted to ensure the safety and security of our employees. Two, we wanted to ensure that our customers are continuously supported during these tough periods. Third one, of course, is to ensure that we manage to adhere to all the local regulations that come into play. Right. So less than 3% of our employees are coming to our offices right now, and the rest of the employees are enabled to work from different places that they need to work off. Right. The teams have responded extremely well because one is being enabled to work from home and second one is being effective. Just to give you one statistic, our collaboration platforms, the utilization of them has increased by about 5x during this period. So people have moved to new methods of working extremely fast, right? And the ability to break the work into smaller pieces and move them across various locations. That has been the great strength for this period right now. And the methodologies that we have used, the tool sets that we have deployed for making people to work from home has been very effective. 98% of our customers have told us that either we were better than our competition or at par with respect to supporting our customers during the COVID situation. So the teams have come extremely well and it has been very good. Now, coming to the other part that you described, I think your question was about BFSI demand, right? So in terms of demand, what we are seeing is that, we do see that, especially consumer, right? You saw some of the deals that we have announced, right? On the back of those deals. Tech with respect to, specifically about the way that, some of the tech spend is going up, and communications, health, right? We do see that, we see some demand coming up again, right? In the next quarter. For BFSI and ENU, energy and utilities business, we do believe that the demand is likely to be flattish, right? The outlook for the quarter is likely to be flattish. With a little bit of, obviously there are some risks that those businesses are facing right now. But overall, we have seen that our order book has the order book has improved better in the second half of the quarter. Our pipeline is very robust. The velocity of decision making has not reached the same levels as what pre-COVID is, but our order book in quarter one has improved considerably compared to the year-on-year order book of last year same quarter.
Right. Saurabh, I think the most significant statement that Rishad made at the AGM was that there's not been a single layoff due to COVID, and there are no plans to lay off any employees. But at the same time, a few weeks back, we also saw this case in Pune where some Wipro employees, complained to the legal commissioner. So can you tell us what these performance-linked layoffs and will that continue to happen? Secondly, how are you going to manage this? Because we hear about many IT companies putting their employees on bench and then forcing them to resign. So have you modified your bench policies?
Sorry, I'm muted. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Good question. If you recall, in the last quarter, we had spoken that we will look at all the different levers. And our attempt had been that we try and save as many jobs as possible given the drop in volumes, and collectively Wipro comes together to help in the situation. So to a large extent, especially in India, we did not lay off anybody. And Rishad was very clear that it's due to pandemic we are not laying off. Layoffs will continue basis performance, integrity, and other areas will continue to lay off. But what we have done is which we have applied in our countries in US and UK, in some parts of Europe, in Australia, we've been able to put up people on furlough. People who they're not laid off, they are still employ the company, and it's a win-win for the employee as well for the company. When the demand comes back, we can get them back quickly, and for the employees, there's a safety net of a job. So very clearly, you will see this going on. Our hope is, as you heard the narrative from Thierry about growth, we will get growth and we will need everybody. So we don't have to talk about layoffs. So we think positively, Chandra. But that's what we are looking at. But we'll have to see how things pan out. As of now, we don't intend doing any of this moving forward. Specific on the Pune case, I think it was a performance-driven thing, and nothing to do with anything on the pandemic. Because as you rightly said, we are a huge base, and you are well connected with a lot of employees in the company, so you would know, something has been happening. So it's not the case.
Right. Thierry, I just have a final couple of questions for you. When is Wipro going to grow in line with industry or even above the industry? And is overtaking HCL again going to be one of your immediate goals to reclaim your position as the third largest software provider in the country?
A few answers. One, Q2 should be the quarter where we stabilize the top line. Okay. A little too early to speak about H2, frankly, especially me with my level of knowledge. So welcome back to you on that. I cannot put a date on when we will go back to the growth and actually start to gain market share versus the competition. But we are ambitious, and certainly that will be our ambition to claim the position that we had some time ago. So I will not stay too obsessed with the performance of our competitors. We will drive our own trajectory, and certainly, our objective, our ambition is to be back on the podium soon. When? I can't tell you that now.